When it comes to learning, there are so many different ways to learn, so many great experiences that we can have when we are learning. And it's always exciting when we can learn in a way that is best for us, whether we are visual, whether we are hands-on and kinesthetic, or whether we are auditory learners. And our auditory learners, they are great. They are the ones who are just, that fantastic storyteller because they've heard something and they've taken it all in. Do you have an auditory learner in your family? Are you homeschooling an auditory learner? Do they just want to be talking all the time and telling you what they have learned? Are they constantly listening? Probably so. Well, today I want to round out this trio of videos on homeschooling the different learning styles. So today let's look at 5 tips for homeschooling auditory learners. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life, and thank you so much for watching today as we round out our learning styles and homeschooling them. Homeschooling is fun, right? And I hope that you are having fun homeschooling your children and just watching them catch that fire for learning. Oh, it's always such a good feeling. I get excited when I see children just take hold and realize that numbers don't define them, that they have freedom to learn how it's best for them to learn, when they find interest in things that they just didn't even know that they were interested in, but now they are, and you've been interested in these videos. Thank you so much for watching, for liking and subscribing. Really, it means the world to me. Tell your friends. So, an auditory learner. Don't forget to check out the other videos that I have on this, on what is an auditory learner, and also, resources for them. But today we're looking at homeschooling them, but let's just quickly touch base. An auditory learner, yes, learns best by hearing. You got it. You worked out what it is. And when they have that opportunity to truly just being taking it all in, by hearing and giving those opportunities to be speaking and hearing, oh my goodness, the freedom that they have in it. And just, taking that on. As I said, in our house, we are a real mix. I'm a visual, I have a kinesthetic, I have another visual. My husband's an auditory learner. So between the 4 of us, we cover it all. But it was really fascinating for me to watch and see how an auditory learner really takes it in. And just the challenges that we face, learning another language. I want to see it so I understand it. He's like, just listen. I'm like, I can't. But I watch how much he takes in. And I've watched other children, these auditory learners who just take in such amazing detail by just even hearing something once. Song lyrics for a start. How many of them can hear a song once and then be able to recite the lyrics? Or, if something really interests them, it's right there. So our auditory learners do learn best by hearing and by speaking. And so now let's look at the 5 tips we have for homeschooling our auditory learners. Read aloud. I love that we have audiobooks. Oh, they are so fantastic for our auditory learners and also for our children that have dyslexia. And so audiobooks are really a great way to bring rich reading experiences. But did you know that research shows that being read to by parents is actually more helpful than videos and audiobooks? Though we do need to use videos, we do need to use audiobooks, but isn't that exciting that your voice has such an impact? Your voice reading aloud to your children is just such a great way for them to be learning. So for our auditory learners, read aloud. Read instructions out loud. This is just that extra little bit. When it comes to instructions, our auditory learners do need to hear it. Yeah, you can provide them with a list. They might take it a hold, but getting them to understand as they hear it is great. For our younger ones, we want to read instructions out loud. Maybe we're looking at our schoolwork. Oh, it's this. That we are making sure that they hear it and that they speak it back to us for understanding. For our older students, have them read the instructions out loud, for them to be able to hear their own voice. Especially our older students often get multi-part instructions, and we want to make sure that they are getting all the parts to the instructions. And so that actual physical act of them speaking it out and hearing themselves, it's just these additional processes in their brain, which is great for them to learn. Encourage talking. Encourage talking. This is where homeschooling auditory learners is great because we're not really having to worry about the 20-odd other children in the class. Even though I'm a visual learner, I got in trouble for talking a lot at school. I just wanted to talk. Maybe, well, sometimes I was bored. But, we have this, but for our auditory learners, that talking, again, because they're hearing their own voice, this is a very strong connection. So reviewing material out loud, we should ask them more open-ended questions so they have the opportunity to bring it back and hear themselves speaking, while they're doing their assignments, allowing them to talk. Libraries, I know, shh, quiet. But for many of our auditory learners, they actually need to be speaking quietly to themselves. I don't know if you have noticed that with them. I have noticed quite a few students that I have worked with, they don't even realize that they're actually talking what they're reading. But that's actually how they were designed to be learning. And it was actually a really good thing. They didn't even realize that that was what they should be doing. They just did it. And so we want to encourage talking with our homeschoolers, whether they're just reading out the materials that they're doing or in these discussions. Assign oral assignments over written. Now, I'm not discounting the written assignments for our auditory learners. Please hear me out on that. No, I do believe we need to be able to write and write well, so write a lot. But for our auditory learners, first and foremost, I think always talk through what you've been learning first before it comes to a written assignment. If you have a story you need to write or maybe an essay, why not draft it first by recording what you want to say and then hearing it back and being able to put it in? Because that is actually going to be less disruptive in your processes on what you want to say than trying to write and stop and think and trying to write and stop and think. But just being able to hear yourself bringing these thoughts out and then writing is good. Use dictation software for that. Of course, you always need to go back and make sure that it's correct for punctuation and all of those things, but it's a great place to start. And that our auditory learners in these assignments are hearing themselves speak what they are learning and speak what they are trying to communicate later in the written word as well. And even when it comes to tests, you're trying to assess where they're at. So many of them get so anxious about the written tests, but you give them 10 minutes, they will blow you away with how much they actually know when they're given the opportunity for an oral assessment. So don't discount the written, but also don't discount oral assignments for our auditory learners. Have a quiet learning environment. Our auditory learners do need to have less distractions. You really can't have the TV playing in the background or music on in the background. That is just going to be a distraction. Being by an open window and there are cars going by and birds and that dog barking can be a distraction. And what they end up having to do is hyper-focus on what they are trying to hear as they are learning. Hyper-focusing can cause some stress and some anxiety but I have to listen, I have to learn. So having that peaceful, quiet learning environment is a really good thing. Noise cancellation headphones can be great. And if they really do want to listen to music, it should be something without lyrics, something like the classical music or instrumental. You can get great instrumental of even just some of the popular songs now, because when it does have lyrics, that can distract, and those lyrics can sort of make it into what they are actually learning. So those are the 5 main tips for when it comes to homeschooling our auditory learners. But here's a couple of other quick little things. Make sure that you have their hearing tested regularly. They need to be able to hear to be able to learn. And so that is a good thing. Having group activities and co-ops where they can talk and be learning with their friends and their peers is also an excellent thing. Do use video instruction for math. Do use videos, like history videos, those sorts of things, because they're not just seeing, but they're also hearing and hearing these different voices. And for math, it's great because it's going through step by step and you can pause and you can go back. It's not just a visual thing of looking at a textbook and these are the steps. So videos, especially for math, are great for our auditory learners. Create songs as mnemonics. I actually really enjoy doing that. Little ditties to make up to help learn. Again, I am a visual learner, but I do love a good musical mnemonic. I think they are so cool. And instead of note cards, like you've got 100 vocab words to learn. Why are you bothering with note cards? Our auditory learners, it's best for them, record it. And hear yourself back. You don't want to record it? Have a sibling do it. Have your parents do it. Have your next door neighbor. Hear different voices giving you the vocab word and the definition. They're going to be able to take in so much more. Listen to it on the way to school, in the car, wherever, all of these different things. These are all tried and true things that I've used with a number of students that I've worked with over the years. So I know that some of these tips seem like, what? Why do we want to be speaking out loud more? But trust me, when we give our children that freedom to be able to talk more while they're learning, especially at home, we've got that freedom to do it, and let's do it. And if your child is an auditory learner and you're not, and it goes that's not how I just want them to be quiet. It's okay to learn new things yourself, and we all have to do that and being like, oh, okay, my child needs to talk. So if it really gets to you, they can learn in another room, can't they? Especially if they need to talk a lot and you just need some quiet. There are so many amazing things that we can do when we are homeschooling our kids. And yes, as I keep hearkening on, and you'll be like, yeah, Michaela, we've got it. When we give them this freedom, we give them this gift to learn in a way that is best for them. We're setting them up for success. And we get to partake in watching their excitement, in watching their joy in this. So thank you so much for watching today. Oh, I hope that this has given you some good tips for helping your auditory learners. And hey, if you're homeschooling and you're looking for something fun and something for your auditory learner to do, check out my website, LearningThis.Life, and check out Pocket Packs. I am excited about these because, when I was coming up with them, it's like I want something that our children in all the different learning styles can be a part of. And so Pocket Packs are also great for our auditory learners because there are books that they can read out loud. There are videos they can watch. There's the activities, there's discussion questions. So many great things in Pocket Packs. They are thematic units of work that are interest-based, They're just like a starting point that you can go deeper in things. So check that out at my website, LearningThis.Life, Pocket Packs. And if you want to see more videos like these, you can become a champion. So while you're checking out LearningThis.Life, check out Champions and find out how you can help bring more videos. And you can also do that through patreon.com. Thank you so much for watching.